Ladies and gentlemen, my name is
Scott.
Hey, yo. Is that his younger brother? It's gonna be
Jeff.
The cream will rise to the top. Oh, yeah.
And you're listening to
all of the great action figures from our good friends at Hasbro.
The Fullyposeable.
Have your own WrestleMania with all your favorite figures.
Wrestling figure.
Each sold separately from LJN.
Podcast.
And we are the Mount Rushmore of professional wrestling.
Hey, welcome to episode 398 of the Fullyposeable Wrestling Figure Podcast, longest running episodic wrestling figure podcast going today. My name is Jeff, and sitting alongside next to me is my real life brother, not storyline brother, Scott. Scott, say hello.
Hello.
Scott, we're 398 years old, dude.
Yeah. We put out one episode per year.
Yes.
For the past 398 years.
Yes. Each year, a ring goes on our B pieces. That's how that's how you tell how old someone is how many rings are, right? Isn't that?
Yeah, and if you'd like to prove us wrong, feel free to come around back and count the rings.
It's science.
Can't argue with it.
Scott, what's going on, dude?
It's another beautiful day out here, man.
Yeah, it's nice and cool out here. Well, I shouldn't say cool. It's just nice, you know?
Yeah, nice weather. I'm still, I don't know if we're going to show the video or not because we are on Zoom again. The room is still under construction, and I've come to the realization that I need at least one more detail.
Yeah, we need to make this happen. We need to make a trip over to IKEA.
Yeah, because you can order them and have them shipped, but it's $100 in shipping.
Yeah, I'm cool with that, dude.
Yeah, we'll go pick them up. It's okay.
Especially when there's an IKEA like literally 15 minutes down the road. So
yeah, and you don't get with delivery. You don't get meatballs with delivery from IKEA. But if you go to IKEA, you get meatballs.
Those are pretty tasty. I
love the meatballs, dude.
Yeah, those are pretty tasty. Nice little food court going on in there.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's like milk. It's not bad.
If you'd like to get any of our shirts, head on over to Pro Wrestling Tees or whatamaneuver.net. You can follow us on Twitter, YouTube, Snapchat, and the Book of Faces at Fullyposeable, Instagram, Fullyposeable, WFP. You can listen to any of our past podcasts on Podbean, Stitcher, iTunes, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. Please rate and review and subscribe on iTunes. And you can send us any audio questions, or anything else at all. Send it on over to Fullyposeable, WFP at gmail.com. This show, again, is a little bit different. We're going to go through our normal beginning of the show, news segment, a little spiel at the beginning, and then we go right into an interview with Shawn Ng. Shawn is on to talk about the PN news figure that is now up on all of the stores that you can purchase them from, the UK, the Canadas.
The Canadas?
The Canadas.
There's more than one?
The States United, stuff like that. You can find it all anywhere, in any of those shops, but you just do a Google search, you'll be able to find it. But anyways, Shawn will be on to talk about those. But first, Scott, did you get your Batmobile?
I did. And okay. I got the Gobbledygooker and Undertaker 2-pack.
Nice. Did you pop it open?
Not yet. Again, room is under construction. I'm trying not to open unless it's going into the detail. The Gobbledygooker and Undertaker 2-pack is not getting opened. So that's going to go up on display.
Mm-hmm.
So I did not crack it open. The Batmobile is getting cracked open. I just haven't done it yet. Again, room is still kind of under construction. So not trying to open too much unless I have an immediate home for it on the detail. But yeah, dude, what a day. Coming home, work sucked as usual. A cool place to work, but gets busy. But coming home and seeing on the doorstep, there's the Batmobile, there's the Undertaker and Gobbledygooker 2-pack. Great way to start the weekend, because again, that was on Friday, going into a 3-day weekend. Great way to start a 3-day weekend.
Work sucks. I know. Yeah, it's that's Smash Mouth?
No, that is Blink 182. RIP to the Smash Mouth lead singer, by the way.
Oh, when did he pass away?
Was it Monday, Tuesday? Something like that this past week.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, just a few days ago, dude. Yeah, he passed away.
Oh, man. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and all right, while we're on the subject of passing away, General Adnan.
Yeah, found out about that through All Pro Wrestling's Instagram page last night.
Yeah, we grew up watching him in the AWA. And of course, his biggest run in the WWF next to Sergeant Slaughter as heel Sergeant Slaughter. So yeah, RIP to General Adnan as well.
And Bob Barker. We didn't talk about that last week.
No, we didn't talk about Bob Barker. Jimmy Buffett passed away, which is weird because normally these things come in threes. So, I mean, unless you count the losses we had a couple weeks ago, I guess that would add up to 6, which is multiples of 3. It's kind of weird how that goes down. But yeah, man, a lot of loss the last few weeks. A lot of loss. It sucks.
Yeah, it really does, man. But we are going to turn this round into a positive show. No characters. That's the positive, is there's no characters on the show.
Thank goodness.
Oh, I know.
I worry about saying like something simple like Peg. And then all of a sudden, see?
He's lurking.
You see? I wasn't sure if anybody else actually heard that or if that was just my conscience like leaning in with the voice.
Peg.
Oh no. Oh no.
So this past weekend, I decided to try and get as much done around the house as I could. I ended up taking Tuesday off after Memorial Day. So it was like, okay, everything that I've kind of let built up, I needed to, normal house chores, I needed to get that done.
Right.
I was like, I don't like where the details are set up in the room that they're in currently. So what I did is I took them and I moved them down a ways. So they're now facing, when you walk into the room, if you turn directly to the right, instead of them kind of blocking the open area, they're now against the wall.
Perfect.
So they're lined up right back there. I moved all the autograph stuff on top of the details. So when I get more, I'll spread it out as it goes along.
Nice.
Looks great because the all 4 horsemen signed. I got Bret Hart autographs up there. That looks great. But then I started messing with the Superstars figures. And that's one of those things I realized I'm not going to get those signed. And I love those figures so much. And I love the card art. But at the same time, the card art is cool, but I want to open those figures and put them on those stands, kind of like similar to your shelves that are behind you.
You opened them.
I opened up the Superstars figures. I did.
Wow. Look at you. Baby steps, dude. It's all baby steps.
So what I did is I got the museum gel that you had purchased off Amazon, Scott.
Okay.
But while I was on Amazon, I also noticed that there was these little stickums that you put under the guy's feet.
Like a preformed little square, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Because like with your museum gel, it holds up really well. Except when you mash it down a little bit, and I'm not knocking it, but when you mash it down a little bit, sometimes that gel kind of scoots out as you press down on the stand that it's on.
Right.
Gel, it's like my stomach when I put on tight pants, it flops over, stuff like that. So
anyway, think that happens to you.
Damn, I ate too much Taco Bell. But anyways, but I noticed that it kind of did that. So I wanted to try these little things that go on the feet.
Okay.
So if you go into Amazon, it's called Fix Bear, PHIXBEAR. They're museum gels that you put under there. You put them on the feet. And then what you do is you remove the little sticker that is on the opposite side. And then you put that on both feet. You mash it down. No glob popping out on the sides. They actually stick really well. I highly, highly recommend them. You can go onto Amazon. It's called Fix Bear, PHIXBEAR museum gel glue dots. And they are clear and removable. You won't have any residue left over or anything like that if you want to take a figure off or anything like that. So again, that's all on Amazon. Fix Bear. They are, how much are they right now? They are right now $13.49.
And how many do you get?
You get 480 pieces.
Man. Okay, that might cover the next round of DTOLF entries.
They are excellent. I highly, highly recommend them. I also picked up the museum gel just in case that they didn't stick that well.
Yeah.
So I was like, the museum gel was like a backup if these didn't work well.
Got it. Okay.
So I have a bunch of the museum gel, but I'm kind of fixated on the Fix Bear. If that is play on words. Sorry. That was bad. Sorry.
Very, very good, dude.
No, I'm sorry. I apologize to every single listener that had to listen to that horrible joke.
You're like Mitch Hedberg.
I'm sorry. Nate Ringskirts, I apologize. Steve Hoker, I apologize.
But only to them. Everybody else can just eat it, enjoy that joke. But those guys specifically,
Brian from the Legendary Podcast too. I apologize to you. But anyways, I started opening the Superstars figures. I was going to do it where it was going to be series 1, 2, 3, and 4. But then I realized Hogan was in series 1 in the NWO gear. Hall and Nash were in series 2 in the NWO gear. It didn't make sense to split them up, so I had to put them together.
Yep. That makes sense. I get it.
Warrior, Savage, Michaels, and I forget who else is on the first shelf.
Undertaker?
No, Taker's on the third shelf because I had started with series 3. I was going to put series 3. I put series 3 lined up. I put Mankind, Taker, $1 Million Man, and Papa Shango all on the third shelf. Then I started looking at everything and my OCD started going haywire, dude.
Yeah, I get it.
I was like, I can't have Hogan, Hall, and Nash separated if they're all in NWO gear. I can't do that.
Yep, I get it.
So I have one open spot in the back on the top shelf of the 4th level. I've got one open spot that was supposed to be Typhoon, but if Earthquake is in series 5, which he is, with Ravishing Rick Rude, I have to get Earthquake, and I can't split up Earthquake and Typhoon. This, dude, my OCD again would go bonkers.
Yeah, so Rick Rude now goes into that, excuse me, to that open spot.
Yeah.
Then you've got another rack open that you'll put the Natural Disasters on.
Yep, exactly. So
yeah, no, I got you. I feel you on that.
Yeah. So, anyways, I'm loving these Superstars figures. When I get the Asylum All-Stars, they will also go onto these. Yes, I know they're not Mattel's, but I'll still put them on there.
Yeah. Hey, why not?
Anyway, started doing that. Little bit of Toy Spot, nothing new. That's all I gotta say.
Nice. Well, I do want to throw out a special thank you to Brian V. He was listening to the show last week, and we were talking about going into the DTOLF and replacing my British Bulldog figure with the Elite, and that I had the regret of passing on him multiple times, and now he's gone, and you can't go back and get him on BBTS. But Brian V reached out, and dude, he went to the store, picked him up for me, and is sending him to me as a gift.
Dude.
Yeah. So big thanks to Brian V. Dude, honestly, like anytime somebody does that for Jeff or I, it's so appreciated. We never take it for granted. So I wanted to make sure you got a special thank you on the show. I truly appreciate it. Can't wait to get it and replace that. That basic Bulldog is really good, but that Elite Bulldog is just next level. So yeah, he sent me a picture of he goes, dude, we still have him out here. And sure enough, he sent me a picture from the store. There's Bulldog sitting on the peg. Listening. Mm-hmm.
Scott say peg. Hey, Scott, you know what sucked? We didn't get that Andre the Giant black singlet in LJN. Oh, man, that sucks. Come on, Brian. I'm joking. No, that's hella cool, dude. I am hella happy for you. I know you kind of wanted that figure because you were talking about that night that we were setting up the details. You're like, I should have gotten that Bulldog. I'll get it eventually. You know, you kind of made that comment. It's eventually going to happen, but you didn't know when you were going to pull the trigger on getting it.
Yeah, it was going to be either at a toy show or a secondary market, something like that. But yeah, huge thanks to Brian V for hooking me up.
That's awesome. Hey, Brian, we never got the Killer Bees, carded and the LJNs. And, I mean, we have them loose, but I'm joking. No, that's awesome of Brian to do that for you.
Yeah. Thank you very much, my friend.
Scott, do you want to get into a little bit of news?
Yeah, let's talk about it.
All right, FOCO. They showed off their first 3 Legends bobbleheads. They are 6 inches tall, $45 a piece. First 3, Roddy Piper, Jake Roberts, and the Ultimate Warrior.
Okay, quick question for you.
Yes.
Is the Piper actually Roddy Piper, or is that Zac Efron playing Kerry Von Erich?
Which is funny because you and I were emailing back and forth, and I was like, dude, that Roddy Piper looks like Kerry Von Erich.
Yeah.
You replied with Zac Efron as Kerry Von Erich. Dude, that was hella funny, dude.
That's who I saw when I saw the Piper. I mean, I know what look they were going for on Piper, but I don't know. It just looks like Zac Efron playing Kerry Von Erich to me. I don't know.
The rest of them look really good. They're standing on bases that kind of replicate the wrestlers, something that's traditional about them. So
yeah. No, they're very, very cool. I like the Piper. Just throwing some jokes out. Good job, FOCO.
Epic Toys and Epic. Okay, I've got to ask this, dude. I'm going to announce it, and then I've got to ask the first question. Epic Toys showed off the British Bulldogs together in baby blue.
Yeah.
Scott?
Yes.
Are you getting them?
No, because I'm out on the retros.
Okay.
But honestly, if I was still in the retros, those would be coming home, no doubt. I would have picked up the Demolition and Powers of Pain sets and definitely would be getting this Bulldogs. We haven't got enough Dynamite and Davey in that baby blue color. And this is a total home run. I love the poses. I love the gear. I love the sculpts. Everything about them is perfect. And again, if I was still in retros, the budget just won't allow it. They would be coming home, dude, for sure. Those are awesome figures.
These are two figures that I've always wanted. I didn't care if they were in retro. I didn't care if they were in Remco style, Elite style. I didn't care. This is something I have always wanted. Epic Toys made it. They are going to get purchased. No doubt about it.
Nice. Did you get the Demolition and Powers of Pain as well?
Yeah, I sure did. I pre-ordered those.
Nice. Okay. So yeah, these are going to come on a card together, just like the LJNs did. Those figures are a total home run, dude. They look so good. And again, it's in that baby blue color that we've always wanted the Bulldogs in, but we haven't gotten enough of those figures. So yeah, these are total home runs. They are outstanding.
And it's a color that we've always wanted Junkyard Dog in, or the Rock and Roll Express in the blue and the black.
Yeah. So when Powertown finally does the R&R Express, I'm really hoping it's in that baby blue.
Which, by the way, speaking of Powertown, there was a Facebook post that kind of came out, and let me jump over to that real quick. Oh, by the way, the Crows are getting their own figures too.
Their own figures?
Yeah. If you go onto Amazon, McPhee Archie Murder of Crows figure set of 4. So they're called Murder of Crows. Thank you, Justin Summers, for sending this over. So
nice.
Oh, we've got our own figures, Bricks.
Oh, great. I'm surprised Ozer didn't make them.
Look, check out McPhee Archie Murder of Crows, Bricks, over on Amazon. Hell yeah. There's 4. We don't know who that 4th is. He jumped in the shot. We don't know who that is. There's 3 of us. The smallest one is Barbara Walters, though. So go pick up. Anyways, those idiots.
Boy.
But there was a Facebook post going back. It was on Wrestling Figures Anonymous on Facebook. It says, I also saw a comment from Greg Gagne giving a hint as to the list of wrestlers in Ultra Series 2 from Powertown. Rock and Roll Express, Nikita and Ivan Koloff, Gorgeous George, Medusa, and Wahoo McDaniel. I personally would give anything to have Ivan and Nikita and Rock and Roll Express.
Yeah, same, dude. Same. That is going to be awesome. And again, those figures have that premium price point, right? If it's any indication what the Cardona and Myers 2-pack is, that's $90. So call it a one bill after shipping and all that. So if you want the R&R Express and the Russians, it's going to be 2 bills. You know what? Count me in.
Oh, yeah. Especially since we missed out on the Midnight Express this past week.
Yeah. Yeah. That's still a sore spot for me. It was in the cart, dude. I completed the purchase.
Dude, same here.
Fatal error screen.
Yeah, I got a fatal error, dude.
Yep. So pissed. So pissed.
You lose. You suck.
$280. I think it was $300 after shipping and everything.
Yeah.
And it was going to be well worth it because I didn't want the cheapest package that they were offering. I wanted that middle tier because obviously the $1,000 package is right out. I had it in the cart, completed the purchase, all my credit card information, everything, complete purchase, and then boom, fatal error screen, go back in, they're gone. Completely sold out. All that was left was the cheaper package. And just my opinion, the value isn't there on the cheaper package. I really wanted that Bobby Eaton autograph for the collection. I don't want an incomplete signed photo up on the wall. It just, that irks me. So for me personally, the value isn't there at, just call it $250 shipped. So I went ahead and passed on the midnight. I'm so pissed.
It looks like the cheaper package is still available. So if anybody wants to go pick them up, go ahead and pick them up on the cheaper package. Again, dude, same thing as you. Fatal error, like 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes in.
Not even because they actually posted them 2 minutes early.
Oh, they did?
They did. And that's when I had them in my cart. I immediately hit add to cart, went through the whole checkout process, hit complete purchase, and same as you, fatal error. But I was in there 2 minutes before. It was like 8:58.
Well, that is still available for the cheaper package on jimcornette.com. All right, it is time for some WWE action, dude. And the biggest news, Dudley Boyz sign a Legend deal.
Yes, that is gigantic.
So Legend deal for Dudley's means figures, shirts, alarm clocks, slippers, ornaments.
They're back in video games. Give
So-
me ECW era Dudleys. Give me the tie-dye and overalls. I am all for it.
And this is what we want from CM Punk too. Just a Legends deal. Don't show up on TV. Just give us a Legends deal, right?
Wait, are you talking to me?
No, I do.
Are you asking for my opinion?
I'm actually really hoping that the Supreme figure still comes out.
We'll see. I don't know, dude. I mean, they still released Cody figures after he bounced.
That is true. Very true. That Supreme figure still came out. So
Yeah, so chances are good that it will. But given the way he bounced, and then they went and fired his buddy Ace Steel today too.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, they shit canned him. So I don't know, man. I don't know if CM Punk has any say over any merch that still gets released, but we'll see what happens. I think it was Breaker that floated that idea to just put the guy in a Legends deal so he doesn't have to interact with anybody.
Yeah.
That might be his best play.
Yeah. I didn't know Ace Steel got canned too.
Yeah, they just announced it today. They released him.
If they ever get a streaming deal, they're going to eliminate him from all like past pay-per-views or anything like that.
Well, look, if WWE didn't do it with what's his name, CB, then I don't think AEW would go to that length with CM Punk. But you never know, right? Apparently, Tony Khan's life was threatened. So, yeah, we'll see what happens.
All right. We are not a wrestling podcast. Anyways, the Dudleys are under a Legends deal. So that means we're going to be hopefully getting figures. They're on the table right now. So TBD, let's see what that can be done with them.
Yeah, it's been a long time. We are definitely long overdue for some Dudleys.
All right. It's time to get into a couple of Steve Ozer questions that were on the message boards. Hell yeah. He's back for vacation. Hell yeah.
They love him.
They do. They get
It's like a rock star waddles into town and they're like going crazy.
Oh, I know, dude. He's like Bret Michaels in the 80s, dude.
Right.
Yeah.
Those are some lofty standards to hit too.
I know. All right. First question comes in from Leka. L-E-C-A. Leka said, hi, Leka Mecca Hi, Mecca Heiny Ho.
Mecca Heiny Ho.
Hi, Steve. Beefcake Greatest Hits. Will it come with the scissors? Steve said, no scissors, since this era represents him before he became the barber.
It should hold that they'll do a barber figure as well.
Correct, but he's saying that this Greatest Hits one is not.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, he wasn't doing the barber gimmick when he was the tag team champion. So,
and I know they showed it off over across the pond, but I can't remember if he came with the silver tag title.
It is.
The Greatest Hits does?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah. So this is it's that same beefcake.
Okay, perfect. So we can get the silver tag title and not have to pay up the wazoo on eBay.
Yes, and there is a variant.
I don't care about
of that. Well, no. I'm saying of that beefcake, there was a variant in that original Legends line. That beefcake was a variant. I think it's just the regular release on the Greatest Hits.
Yeah, because the variant was the blue. I think the regular was the yellow.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Get beefcake back in the Greatest Hits. Hell yeah. Purchase our figures on Amazon Pricks.
All four of them.
Next question comes in from Jason T. Says, hi, Steve. Could there be a running change on the Greatest Hits Legends Series 1 packaging to match the new look by any chance, please? It seems a complete oversight to start a new subline and switch packaging after one wave. I'm sure you can understand as an MOC collector that this is just a mess strategy-wise. Jason T, touch your brother's heart. Man, I don't know what the hell you just said, but you touch a brother's heart. If anybody can tell me what movie that's from, you guys are great. All right. Steve said they are fully produced and on the way to Targets. These are 2023 items, not 2024, so they have the current packaging structure. If it makes you feel better, it's not a subline, as it's officially part of the Legends assortment itself, much like Elites and Ultimate Greatest Hits aren't sublines.
And there you go.
Yep.
I'm sure he's feeling way better about life now.
Hell yeah. Nice rested. Steve Ozer is the best Steve Ozer. Go pick up our figures, pricks.
It's Marks.
I know. Why didn't Mattel make the Crow figures?
Well, they made Crow Sting.
Prick Sting. All right. Before we get into our interview with Shawn Ng, real fast. Check out Wrestling Toy Tracker, Rumble Wheel Podcast, TB Toycast Podcast. Say that 10 times fast. PPW Podcast, Stolen Gimmicks, which, by the way, Joe made a great comment on the Stolen Gimmicks, Scott. We call our nostalgia segment the nostalgia segment, but we're on like Elite 95 going into next week. And he's like, that's not really nostalgia. I was like, shit, that's a good point.
Well, I mean, nostalgia could be anything that's from the past, and those are from the past.
And you saying those are from the past is now in the past, which is now a nostalgia thing.
Yeah, what I just said, that's nostalgia.
And what you just said just now about what you just said is nostalgia.
And what you just said is nostalgia. See how that works?
Shawn Ng's gonna be so pissed that this is the lead into his segment.
Right. Hey, dude, remember when you were talking about nostalgia like 2 minutes ago? I'm getting nostalgic for that.
Oh man, that was a great little improv right there, dude. We could be a duo. Actually,
Let's thank the Stolen Gimmicks podcast.
I know
for that little blurb,
dude. Just for setting that up.
Put it right on the tee for you.
I was thinking about it. I was like, damn, Joe's right. But then we just played off of it and it became a great segment. Anyways, check out the Stolen Gimmicks podcast as well, because as I said, it's one of my favorite podcasts to listen to. In the Marbles Pod, the Legendary Wrestling Figures podcast, the LJN podcast with Brian. We were on there again for part 2 this past week. Work the Arm podcast with Jeff and Jamie. Pod Subject to Change with Nick Dunham and his 2 kids discussing wrestling from all eras, from 80s to current day. Check out Trivia with Buds every single day as well. 10 minutes of just hard-hitting trivia.
Hard.
Chick Foley Show. RJ with Ringside Rant. Boot to the Face with EJ and Rucker. Pulling Up the Chair podcast. Marty and Sarah Love Wrestling. Scott, do you want to say anything about Drunk Wrestling History?
We still have a Twitter at wrestling, or an X, if you will.
The Twitter
at
X.
wrestling_drunk.
The Twitter X.
Yes.
All right. Also,
we
check
still have
out
one of those.
Also, check out Jason Wolf and his custom Hasbros and his custom Galoobs as well. Those things are looking sexy.
Yes, they are.
And also for artwork. He also still does artwork, so don't forget about that as well. All right, Scott, it's time to go talking to Shawn Ng as he is going to discuss his PN News figure and hopefully some other big news. Who knows? We don't know what that man's got up his sleeve.
Can't wait to talk to him.
And now, it's time for our main event.
Joining us on the show this week is the man, the myth, the legend, the leader of the KWK Kayfabe Heroes line, Shawn Ng. Shawn, what's going on, man?
Good morning. I'm sleepy. You guys drank me out of bed this morning. God. No, I'm just kidding. Thanks for having me.
Stop yelling at us, man. Oh.
We just wanted to talk figures.
All we want to do is just talk toys.
I'm messing. I'm glad to be here, man.
It's always good to talk to you. Before we get anything out of the way, why don't you go over any promotional stuff? Where can we find your figures? Where can we pre-order them?
Okay. You guys can order the PN News right now. We've already finished with Mantar. For anyone that missed out, I'm sorry, but you were told 1 month. Well, I did say it was going to be a month of and then we'll cut off. So, I'm sorry, but it's just the way that it has to be done. PN News is on pre-order right now, and it ends at the end of the month. So, for anyone that is putting the finger on a specific date, is September 30th. A day after my birthday, my 43-year-old birthday.
Happy early birthday.
Happy early birthday, man.
Not yet. I'm still like, 21 days away before my birthday. So I'm still 42. I'm still 42 young. Okay.
Happy 21 days away from your birthday.
Jesus. You have to do that, don't you?
Of course.
Anyway.
Of course.
Yeah. So PN News, 2 variants, along with obviously, the whole KWK brand loves, which is the chases of the test shots and the prototype. All are still available for pre-order all the way until September 30th. And you can order them through Asylum. You can order them through my store, Shop KWK. And you guys can also order them from RMM Enterprise in Canada. Yeah.
Okay.
UK. Oh, by the way, UK and European customers, you guys get $5 off.
$5 off of the.
From me. From Shop KWK. Not from Mus Island, but Shop KWK.
Sean
Yeah.
is giving money away. Look at that, guys.
Man, it's his birthday and he's handing out cash.
And they said I'm the worst guy in the entire collecting community. There we go. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, but
I would dispute that.
well, because of what happened with previously, initially we were working with Rock and Roll Collectibles in the UK as they were supposed to be our distributor, but because of the UK sales tax was way too high, it was 20%.
Oof.
So know the initial $5 cut that I was gonna give to Rock and Roll Collectibles, it's just wouldn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's why I decided to go, okay, for all European and UK pre-orders, they come to me, then they will get $5 off for each individual figure. Then that way, whatever that I was initially going to give to Rock and Roll Collectibles is essentially just giving to customers in those regions instead. So, kind of a way to make things easier.
Nice. Yeah. For Sean's birthday, he is giving you guys money.
Order the figure, he'll give you money.
Yes, exactly. Pre-order PN News, and he will give you $5.
For Mantar, I had people ordering cases, like cases of 4 of each variant.
Oh, well, people want that shit. They want that 1 of 3. They want that.
Oh, yeah. There are guys like, I hope I get that chase, man.
So we haven't talked to you in a couple of months. What else has been new?
Well, let's see. Give you guys a little bit of exclusive that I haven't even talked to you guys about it before we went on air.
For Sean's birthday, he's giving us an exclusive, Scott.
The gifts keep on coming.
I'm not going to give out like specific details yet, but
okay.
I'm working on, and it's a very, very preliminary sort of stuff that is not totally concrete yet. But I'm talking to a wrestler that is currently in one of the 2 major companies.
Oh.
To make a figure of his previous gimmick for a New York Toy Fair exclusive.
Okay, I think I might know who this is.
And it's not concrete, but it's something that we have been in heavy discussions with.
Okay, I'm keeping my fingers crossed that it's El Generico. Keeping my fingers crossed.
I'm not going to say anything right now because, but it's something that I'm working on, and I want to do it, but it may not be the gimmick that I want.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, it may not be a gimmick that I want, but it's an interesting gimmick. Actually, 6 hours ago, that's why I only had 2 hours sleep. I just signed a deal with the estate of a legendary UK wrestler.
Oh, nice.
This guy had a very, very famous gimmick in Japan. I didn't even know his son followed me on Instagram. And when I found out, I started talking to him, and the deal was supposed to be agreed 2 weeks ago. But somehow the contract that he sent back to me, wasn't signed for whatever reason. And he signed it like 6 hours ago.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, but I'm not going to give out any info yet because that's the most info I'm going to get. I'm going to give you guys at this point because I don't want people to go, oh, he's announcing guys so early. And stuff like that, and people will be like, oh, he's only got his first 2 figures on pre-order, and now he's announcing another guy. I wasn't even planning on signing anybody, but it just so happened that it was out of the blue that we began talking, and he was real cool about it, and I was real cool about it, and just like, okay, let's go ahead and just do that.
Nice, man. Good for you.
He is basically number 17 that I've signed. In comparison to other companies that have signed like close to 200 wrestlers or 50 wrestlers or 40 wrestlers, I got 17.
The shadiest guy in the business. Come on, Sean.
So, if people are going to say anything about that, you guys need to look at other companies that have signed so many people that they haven't even got those figures out yet.
We did have some people reach out, and we kind of talked about this previously. One of the things a lot of the people want to pre-order all 4 figures, but like what happens with Asylum is when you pre-order all 4 figures, you do get hit with different shipping charges on all 4.
That's the same thing with my store as well. One of the reasons why we did that was to ease of a lot of the burden to the collectors. I mean, I'll be straight and honest. I mean, for Mantar, we got 2 variants. PNUs, we got 2 variants. Comic Kit, we got 2 variants. Yoshitatsu, we got 4 variants. Right? So, instead of like what some of our competitors did, which, they only make 1 variant, we essentially come out with more. That's one reason why, when initially I thought, oh, let's just roll out everything together. That changed to, okay, let's have it once a month.
So is there, and this is speaking for the collectors,
right?
Do we need to reach out to Asylum and ask if there's any way that they can hold our shipments and then have 1 shipping cost, or is there anything that can be done to avoid that and just, get 1 shipping cost, and, for everybody that wants all 4, they'll get all 4 figures and then $1 $12 shipping cost? Or is there anything that we can do, or do we need to reach out to Asylum? Because we've had collectors ask about this.
I can't say for sure for Asylum, but I will definitely talk to them about it and give you guys an update within the next couple of days.
Okay.
Okay, great.
For me, I do have collectors in the US that order directly from Shop KWK.
Okay.
And also a couple of the others as well, obviously UK and the entire EU. I had quite a bit of orders from Germany, France, and Spain, believe it or not. They can reach out to me if they want to order, but don't want to pay the extra shipping or pay less shipping. And what I can do is I can combine the orders.
Okay.
But, for Asylum, because I don't know their warehouse situation or whatnot, so I will have to contact them and discuss with them on the matter. Same thing for RMM Enterprise. I will discuss that with RMM as well, just to see if it is possible. But I do want to provide as much option as possible for collectors. What you guys have brought up here, I think is valid. That obviously some people don't want to pay that much shipping.
Right.
And I get that, as a collector, me too, I like to gather a whole bunch of stuff, say for example, if I'm buying stuff from the US, I always send them to Mark Bushy, and Mark would be like gathering stuff. In fact, I still have a bunch of stuff at his home right now.
He's got your pile of loot.
Yeah, and I'll just like, hey, can you just, kind of like get them all together and just send them to me? And, he's been so cool about it. I've known him for years. I've known him for over 20 years. And he was like, yeah, we can do that. Yeah, no problem. And all that. But, I kind of feel bad at times, but, that's where we're at. So, I totally understand that some collectors don't want to pay the extra shipping, especially with the economy right now. And I get that. Any way that can help collectors to save a certain amount of money, I'm game. But as I said, it has to be depending on the warehouse situation for Asylum is at the end of the day. So I will have to discuss that with them. But for me, if you're ordering from Shop KWK and you want the PNUs, but you want to save it up, being sent in like a whole bunch together, I will try to arrange that. Just contact me.
That's going to make collectors happy.
Yeah, we absolutely appreciate it.
Yeah.
I've had a few people ask about that, because the couple of people I've talked to, they've said they wanted Yoshi, PN News, and Mantar.
Okay.
But they were in a pass on the Comic Kit.
Seriously?
Collectors are gonna collect, man. That's all they're gonna do.
Damn, Comic Kit ain't getting no love. I'm feeling for Paul Diamond right now.
the flip side of that coin is I've had people say they're going to get all 4, and then I've had people say they're going to get 2 of 4. But the bottom line is they were really hesitant because of that individual shipping charge.
Right.
So we do appreciate you, 1, for Shop KWK, and 2, for reaching out to Asylum for us.
sure.
We'll also reach out to Asylum to see if there's anything that they can do to kind of do something such as Big Bad Toy Store to kind of do a pile of loot.
Yeah.
And then when we're ready, just have everything ship under one charge. So, but we do appreciate you reaching out. So, series 2 is, I know we're still on series 1 going through the pre-orders now, but has any movement been on series 2 yet?
Well, since you're talking about it.
Oh, nice.
I have one of the painted Los Conquistadors here.
It's like a green screen. He's blending in with your
into the
KW.
logo.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, here we go. You can see it better now.
There he is. There he is.
Now we can't see Shawn, but we can see that beautiful Conquistador figure.
The prototypes for the Los Conquistadors are pretty much done. It's pretty much ready. But I was talking to the factory the other day, and because of the way that we're doing things for one pre-order each month, I think what's going to happen is for January, I'm not going to do any pre-orders for January, simply because February is Chinese New Year.
Yeah. Yep. That makes
So
got it.
So then, the whole entire January period is not going to have any pre-orders. Then that way I don't have to because every single figure that's done, goes factory molding and all that kind of stuff. So,
right.
So, in order for people to not having a certain wait time in between, I think that may be a way to go. And the other day I was looking at the contract that I had with factory. The molding time takes a month, and the entire production time, they said it was going to be 75 days. So close to approximately about 3 months or so.
Right.
That was supposed to be the production time. But I'm still kind of wary. With production, anything can happen.
Right.
And, I'm sticking with the pre-order date for Mantar, for people to receive it, it's April 2024. I would rather stick with that. So, if, excuse me again, those strap.
It's all that caffeine, man.
Yeah, it's that caffeine, man. But if people receive them earlier, that'll be cool. Obviously people will be happy about it, but if they receive it around April, then at least I'm not disappointing anybody.
Yeah.
Right.
That's how I'm feeling, because if I ended up doing that and go, hey, you guys will receive it by December, and December comes and nothing.
Yeah.
Imagine the flaming that I'm gonna get.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That is true.
It's just one way to try not to get into that sort of heat.
It's like when you go to a restaurant, they say a 45-minute wait, and then your wait's only 20 minutes and you get all excited. So it's like that.
Exactly.
Imagine a specific time for a Chinese restaurant. If it's some kind of big festival or whatever. And that has happened to me before. Went to one restaurant, and it was usually the meal, all the dishes and everything were done within 40 minutes, and it turned out that we had to wait for 3 hours.
Oh.
My dad was my dad's a pretty patient sort of guy, and even he started steaming.
Ooh.
So yeah, and I understand the entire community oh, we have to wait for this long and stuff like that. I get that.
It's a different world when you're hangry, man.
Oh God, yeah. If you're hungry, you're worse.
Going over series 2 real quick. Yeah. Rewind a little bit. Go over the 4 names that will be in series 2.
6 names.
6 names. I apologize. 6.
Los Conquistadors. So Unos and Dos. Then we have Rene Dupree, Sylvain Grenier, La Resistance. Rene just contacted me the other day after he saw the Mantar. It was when am I getting mine? I said, yours coming soon. Just relax.
They get so impatient.
Yeah. Oh God, trust me. Luis Rivera, one of the Los Conquistadors, contacted me 2 days ago, and I think he wanted to make the shadow figure. because before the Lost Conquistadors, I think Scott probably knows this. Jeff is like, what the hell?
I'm thinking Shadows.
Yeah, the Shadows were Randy the original Smash from Demolition.
Oh, one of the Moondogs.
Oh, one of the Moondogs.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
samesies.
yeah, Moondog and also Luis Rivera. So they were the Shadows.
Okay.
Before Lost Conquistadors.
Oh.
And I said to Louise, I said, look, if you can get me the estate, because I want to make the Moondogs. You guys know this.
Oh, heck yeah.
And I said, I want to make the Moondogs. If you get the Moondog, then what's going to happen is I can see if I can make the Shadows as well.
Nice. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. The Moondogs have never had figures, right? So, Shawn, if you got the Moondogs, that would be the first ever.
I love the Moondogs gimmick.
Same.
They were so damn different.
Yeah. Yeah, and they had a great look, too.
So you've mentioned La Resistance. You've mentioned the Conquistadors. You've mentioned...
Oh, yeah, two more. Takamichinoku, TJP.
Yep. Have you ever thought about doing 2-packs?
See, that's the thing, because you see how my line is like I also offer protective case for the figures.
Correct.
The reason why I am sticking with individual packaging at this point,
Solo.
Yeah, it's a solo packaging, is because of the protective case that I have.
Okay.
Mhm.
I already have the mold for it and everything. So it's easier for me to be able to do that. But if I'm doing 2-packs, then that means I will have to work on a new collector case, a new protective case. So, I think that's where somewhat of a difficulty comes in, because then what happens is the cost is going to be a lot more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
So that's where I'm kind of wary to it, because I've seen it time and time again where, without the protective cases, sending to collectors, a lot of the packages are damaged.
Yeah.
I mean, even for me, and it's even worse that like I order from these companies and they were shipping from China to those places. And I've always said it. I said, you guys can't just have the factory send them to me. It saves me time, and it's a lot easier to not having to deal with import tax.
Right.
Right. And without too much of a hassle, I'll rather roll out with protective case for the figures. Then that way there'll be way less damage on the figures. And in my opinion, I think that's the way to go.
For sure, because the last thing you want is somebody that's an MOC to collector to pay the price for the figure, and then they get it and it's damaged. You may luck out and get somebody that was going to open it anyway, but you don't want to roll those dice. That's a dangerous game to play.
You know what? To me, is that what if some collectors want to have the protective case for other figures? If they want to open up this figure, fine. But if there can be another figure that they can use the protective case with, is what I'm saying.
Right.
How has everything else been going, man? I know there's a lot going on. You've had the Mantar pre-order, which was a hit. You've got PN news going on right now.
Right.
You got, is it Yoshi or Comic Kid up next?
Comic Kid next, and then is Yoshitatsu.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how's everything going? This is your first series. This is your first time going through the line. How are you feeling, man? Are you a little overwhelmed?
It's much easier now.
Oh,
it's much easier now, believe it or not, because before, you guys know, before everything was pre-ordered and stuff, that I was cranking up about 200%.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I would get very little sleep. That you see the eye bags, like I look like a freaking panda whenever you guys saw me.
I call that Monday through Sunday, dude.
But yeah, I mean, right now, I feel a little bit more eased up, believe it or not.
Good.
Because I think in terms of sales for Mantar, and I know people are saying, oh, you've only do 600 and stuff. To me, I wasn't even planning on doing 3,000 or 6,000 or 10,000 of them. The line was not supposed to be for a mass release store line. You know, I mean, I expected the line would have some form of a cult following.
Yeah.
At the same time, you know, you keep it as a rare collectible and not something that everyone and their mother will get.
Yeah, it's not mass produced.
It's not. It's just not.
Yeah, it's a very rare collectible.
Right. And you know, and I remember I was telling you guys about this. You know, I was all about rare collectibles.
Right.
Instead of a figure that is like mass release. And I've always said this, as long as the production size, the minimum production size that I can get the factory to do is met, then that's it. And also obviously, you know, the wrestler and the estate is able to get, you know, a certain amount of cut that is somewhat of a satisfactory sort of deal, then that's all that matters.
Right.
You can produce like 100,000 of one single figure. You can. But what kind of market value does it hold? I mean, you know, we've seen it time and time again. Mass-produced figures, you get them from the store, 3 months later, their value drops.
Yeah, we see it in our nostalgia segment all the time.
Yeah. I mean, I know there are people saying, oh, it's not about the money. At the same time, you know, if it's not about the money, then one, you must be really rich. Because, you know, I mean, for me, that I've been collecting for so many years, you know, ever since I was a kid, you know, I always look at how the value of my figures are doing. Essentially, I really don't think anybody would like what they buy drop in prices so badly.
We've seen it as a collector group. We've seen it so many times, though. Like, as Scott said, we see it in our nostalgia segment all the time now.
Yeah.
You know, we're seeing figures that just came out in the Elite 94 are already $10, like Stephanie McMahon, or British Bulldog was $22. You know, it stayed the same price or something like that.
Yeah.
So we've seen it so many times.
Mass-produced figures bore me. You guys know that. I kept telling me that. It's like, you know, again, you know, how many freaking Hulk Hogans you guys gonna have? You know, like
quite a few.
Yeah,
like 6 million or something. You know, like like
I think this past year Mattel named San Diego Comic-Con Hulkamania Con or something like that.
Yeah. A lot of people were saying that. It's I mean, and it's not a knock on Mattel, because, you know, they're obviously in a completely different category in comparison to what I'm doing. If I look at the whole perspective of the line, okay, there's a lot of elements that I borrow from the Japanese collecting mindset. That's one thing when I talked to Yoshi as well, that he was game, because he collects toys as well.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, he collects Japanese anime toys. So, you know, you talk about the Saint Seiya and all that kind of stuff he does. And,
okay.
And him and I were like talking initially, and I said, you know, I'm borrowing the mindset from Medicom, the Medicom Safubi figures that and that's one reason why you see say for example, you know, the Undertaker Safubi, it's like what, about $1,000 right now, because of how rare it is. The red shoulder pads OD, the blue elbow pads OD, those are like freaking expensive figures right now. Like, you know, right up there with the Jax 1 of 100. So, and you know, I want to take that sort of mentality into the line. But at the same time, I was also borrowing the idea of the original character product figures, the old Japanese wrestling figures that some people call it the articulated galoops. That you know, some people call it that, and you know, the mindset of that, because when they were first released, there were several figures that came out with 2 variants at the same time of one single wrestler, every single assortment. So, you know, I kind of borrow that sort of idea into the line as well. Now, you guys know that I collect prototypes and all that kind of stuff. You know, a lot of the unspoken, you know, sort of deal. But, you know, why not add that element into the line as well? And that's how the entire Kayfabe Heroes line were built. You know, the foundation of it was built up on that. And me being a collector that likes the rare stuff, this whole thing fits. Like the whole line was like basically a reflection of my collector philosophy. If you guys look at it. So
Well, and that's what you did is you went in and you have chases, you have prototypes, you have or not prototypes. I apologize. You have variants. You have
variants and prototypes. I have them too.
You're adding a fun collector element to it that
old school, I may add.
Yeah, very old school.
Yeah,
that a lot of people don't do nowadays, and so that's what a lot of people like about that is that, and like you were telling us, you had collectors reaching out, ordering cases.
Yeah.
Because they want the variants or they want the chases or they want, whatever it may be.
That's
they want to increase their
the whole cases of 4 of one single variant idea came from.
Yeah.
Character products used to do that, but they did assortment of 8. I decided to do 4 because 4 is my lucky number. No, seriously, that was the reason for it. It wasn't because of anything else.
My lucky number's 20,372.
Well, holy shit.
I know, right?
It doesn't come up very often.
I suck at roulette, dude. Anyways, Scott's laughing over there.
But yeah, it's oh shit.
You with the Mitch Hedberg jokes, dude.
God damn it, dude.
But yeah, that's why when people were like, "Oh, you're competing with other companies or whatever,"
Not exactly.
In a sense, because we all doing that sort of style figures, and that's why people putting 2 and 2 together, and I understand that.
Yeah, there are comparisons to be made, but it does stand out for sure.
And a lot of these third-party companies aren't doing chases, aren't doing variants, aren't doing stuff like what you're doing to add a fun element to the collecting game.
Yeah.
I think it also goes back to one thing as well, that if you're putting in chases and people don't like that chases, what happened? Like, as a regular figure, which is why I took that whole idea of, you get a chase that is a final figure, but, there are people that don't like that particular chase though. Then what happens? Right? So in my head, I was thinking, okay, you know what? What if the chase element itself? I mean, I remember the old Toy Biz Marvel Legends. I don't know if Jeff knows about this, but I'm sure Scott, the old Marvel Legends chase figure. There was one particular that were highly, highly expensive. And
which one?
And that was the yellow Daredevil.
I remember the line because those were in the old the plastic, the clamshell package, right?
Right, yeah. Like the plastic was so bad that it could cut your finger off.
I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, I there was one time that I opened the package and it cut my finger off and it was like dripping down. My mom was like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine. Just got a cut." It was like, "You got to clean that mess out." It was like dripping on the floor like big time.
Yeah,
but
my toy bit me.
Yeah.
They were out to make kids lose a digit.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was dangerous.
Yeah.
I remember it. Yeah.
I still remember how expensive that was like at one point. I don't know how much it is now, but the last time I checked, which was like about 15 years ago, it was like $800.
Oh, jeez.
Did you get it?
Hell no. I saw that once. I think what happened was, I think it had something to do with the bad distribution that Toy Biz had back in the day as well. For whatever reason, I don't know the full story, but there were several boxes of the yellow Daredevil chase, like several boxes that went to Philippines.
Oh,
yeah. And some of the Filipino collectors, I think, that knew about the international market started to sell them.
Oh,
like, big time. And
they cashed in.
For however much that they cash, and they probably end up getting a car or something, man. I'm telling you. Like, for real. Like,
that's awesome. I flipped these Daredevil figures for a ride. That's awesome.
For Mustang or something.
Yeah, like, that's crazy.
But yeah, that idea came to mind was that, that's how chase should have been.
Mm-hmm.
That's a chase should have been actually rare.
Yeah.
Instead of like, oh, we got a chase figure. How many was that? Oh, 600,000. Like that is not a freaking chase. I mean, the old school collector mindset has always been a chase is supposedly a rare figure.
Mm-hmm.
But how many quote unquote rare chase figures are there out there now? Like in the modern day collector market, there's none.
I know it bothered you when Jazzwares went from one of
Oh
what was
yeah,
one
it
of
bothered me big time, man. Like,
I
and-
remember.
and I don't know if you saw my tweet to Jeremy. When Jeremy announced it, I left a message. I mean, obviously he wouldn't reply, but I left a message and I said, that's the worst idea ever.
Well, because they jumped exponentially, right? It was
500 and 1,000.
Yeah, and then it went to 3,000 and 5,000, right?
I know there were people shitting on that whole idea is we cannot get our chases.
Yeah.
We couldn't find our chases. And some people complained.
Mhm.
And when Jazzwares quote unquote gave in, I knew the talking point was over.
Yeah.
Like the focal point of the line for that was because of how rare the chases was, and people were like, literally going to stores and look for them.
Right.
But obviously, because of that, a lot of people also ignored the regular figures. The good thing is, with the KVP Heroes line, I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, you're not going to buckle to people that are complaining about not getting a chase or a variant. It's just, it is what it is.
That is not even the case. It's the fact that the people who are ordering are based on ordering the regular figures first.
Yeah.
Instead of like people going to store and go, I have to look for the chase figure specifically. But also at the same time, to me, is that a chase should be rare, should be an extremely high-end collectible, which is why, you see my chases numbers like 1 of 3, with the fact that, the wrestler and I will take 1 of each. So it's only 1 in the assortment.
Yeah.
And 1 of 5, which is 1 of 3 really, and 1 of 10, which is really 1 of 8. So obviously the ratio of getting the chase depends on the size, the amount of figures that are being ordered, obviously. I've said it before, I'll say it again, I don't care if there are an ordering size of 6,000, there's an ordering size of 8,000, there's an ordering size of 100,000. The chase amount will not change.
Okay.
And I don't want to sound like dick, but let's be honest. If I'm doing that and I'm going, you know what? Let's do 100 on the prototype chase. What's the rarity in that?
Yeah.
Once you set a course for how the line is going to be, which is part of the branding, you're going to have people that are not agreeing with your brand philosophy that are going to be dropping out.
But this is the fun aspect of it. This is the fun part. You get home, you see that on your porch, and you're thinking, oh man, there could be a variant in there. It could be a chase.
It's like opening a pack of cards. You don't know what's in there.
Exactly, dude. That's a great way of putting it.
The only way people are going to know is which variant they're buying. So there's no surprise there that, if you buy 6 variant B of say, for example, Mantar PNUs or 6 variant A Mantar PNUs, okay, you're getting that. But the kicker is, would you get a chase or a test shot or prototype within those 6 figures? That particular surprise element.
So second series, La Resistance, Conquistadors, TJP, and Taka Michinoku.
Yeah.
Pre-orders for those, you're thinking?
Ballpark?
I'm thinking after Chinese New Year. So it will be
March.
It will be at least March.
Okay.
Right now, I'm also running into a situation. Obviously, the Lost Conquistadors are done. One of guys that used to work very closely with Chella was talking to me about it and shed some light about the Hayabusa figure that Chella made previously. Because I was contemplating on the idea of having TJP and Takamichiko's jumpers. And I was just, we were kind of talking about it. And he was like, oh man, don't do jumpers. I was like, it fits.
It does,
I mean,
yeah.
I don't want to do a figure that is a jumper, but that doesn't fit.
Right.
Prime example, Repo Man.
Yeah.
There you go.
Like why, right? But I think for TJP and Taka Michinoku, they do fit.
Totally.
But he was telling me, oh, don't do that, man. You have no idea how many hate mails we got for Hayabusa as a jumper.
Because the mechanism didn't work, or they just didn't like that particular action.
Didn't like the look of a jumper on Hayabusa.
Okay.
So jumpers have always been the least popular. It's one of the most polarizing, I guess you could say, mechanism from the Hasbro days.
Yeah, nobody rides the middle line on that one. You either love it or you hate it.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's a great way of putting it, Scott.
If not for jumper, then do I go with the old Macho Man 1 look or the Rick Martel look? So, you know, I'm thinking on that, and that's where I'm having this little dilemma right now with Takamichi Noku and TJP. I'm more than certain I know what to do with Renee and Sylvain. They may be a little bit more generic, you know,
okay,
in terms of the look, which to me, I don't want to initially, but I've been thinking for the last 6 months about how to make an entrance gown on the La Resistance with soft goods or with soft plastic.
Mm-hmm.
But for this particular style, it's not really going to work. I may end up having to go with the more generic route, but we'll see.
I'm sure it's still going to look really good.
I already have an idea of what accessories to give them. I hope that will compensate for not being, you know, quote unquote spectacular in terms of the look.
Okay.
A French poodle, got it.
Fifi.
Fifi,
Yes.
thank you.
Yeah, Renee. Whenever I talk to Renee about it, he always brought up Fifi. Yeah, he always does.
So third series.
Yeah.
I know we kind of touched on this during
Yeah.
STCC.
Yeah.
Is the lineup official?
It's pretty much official. So, you guys want the exclusive, don't you? So yeah,
We really do.
Hey, that's what I'm poking. That's what I'm poking for.
I haven't talked about the entire full lineup for Series 3. I don't think. Did I?
I think there was a few names that was dropped during SDCC. If I'm not mistaken, Pat Tanaka.
Pat Tanaka was, yes. Kato / Paul Diamond. Orient Express. Ox Baker.
That's right.
ODB. Sam Adonis. I think that was one that I did not talk about, did I?
I don't think there was another
Did I
name.
not talk about that one? Or did I talk about that one?
So is this the other exclusive?
Well, you know, might just as well, you know, you guys love me so much and I love you guys so much. I might just well talk about it here.
Let's do it.
Samurai Del Sol, formerly known as Kalisto.
Very cool.
Nice.
Man, that's another one that you could put in the jumper pose that would actually work.
Right. And that's where I'm like, you know, some people already knew about this. That will definitely be in Series 4. And that's number 16, which is Laredo Kid. Again, another one that can be put into a jumper.
Yep.
So that's where I'm having this big dilemma right now, because like there are guys that are lined up that I can make jumpers, and there's a reason for it.
That it makes sense. Yep.
Yeah, that it makes sense. But at the same time, is that if I make them, you know, would it be another Chala Hayabusa situation?
You know what? Every step of the way, Shawn, you've trusted your gut. And so far, so good with your line. So I would stay the course, man. Trust your gut. And if you feel that that's the best option for the figure that you're putting out and you're happy with it, man, just go with it.
And I'm going to say this right now. Number 17 will most likely be a jumper as well, if that's the case.
Oh. You could do one whole series of jumpers then.
Well, we've got PN News up now for pre-order until the end of the month, until September 30th. So everybody get their pre-orders in. You could go to Asylum Store in the US. Canada was
RMM Enterprise.
You can go to KWK Shop as well to
Shop
pre-order
KWK. Get it right.
Shop K. One of these days, I will get it right. I swear.
Wait, you want him to get the name of the line and all of the other stuff right too? Like, come on. We're asking for a lot of Jeff here.
You'd think I would have written it down or something.
We need to get KBW on you.
No, dude, I have enough of that guy, man.
He's at the BK Lounge.
He needs to stuff a couple of the Whoppers on, right at your face and go, you know, eat this. It will make you remember stuff.
Jeff gave him $100 gift cards to get out of town for a while. Like, here's the BK Lounge. Go eat. Come back later.
Yeah. In fact, he just walked in. He's all, is that Shawn Ng? You know, stuff like that. And I'm like, go away. Go away. I sent him to BK so he could continue his letter to Steve Ozer, you know. Shawn, it is always a blast having you on, man. We greatly appreciate you being on.
Thank you for having me, man. This is so much fun each and every time.
Open door policy for you, Shawn. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely, man. And, you know, we always look forward to your figures, and we're looking forward to seeing which ones the collectors get, what's sitting at their doorsteps when eventually the Mantar figure does show up on those doorsteps. So we're curious, man. We're curious.
April next year.
April 2024. We're looking forward to it. Shawn, thank you for keeping this fun like you do, and thank you for always being on, man.
I appreciate it.
Thank you, Shawn.
Yeah. Fullyposeable. Let's go. Jeff and Scott, the Toon Brothers, busting out the ring. But we don't take it out the box, MOC. Happy toy hunting, we'll see you next week. We're the OGs of WFP. Fullyposeable, thank you all for listening. It ain't no storyline, real life siblings. So everybody go and do your toy spotting. #FigLife, adios from the Kings.